Hello and welcome to the video. This is a very quick review of this full speed Tinyleader 75mm 2 and 3S Whoop FPV racing drone. Now this little quadcopter is available in two different versions, with and without HD. If it's a HD one, which is the one I have here, then it allows you to record onto a little SD card. Inside here we have a full speed F411 flight controller, little 20x20mm flight controller, running Betaflight. The ESCs are little 8-amp ESCs, little 4-in-1 at the top of the stack. It has a VTX, which will go from 25 to 600 milliwatts, although to be honest, I was only really testing it on 25 here and getting pretty good reception. Betaflight on-screen display. Motors are 1103, 11,000 kV motors with little 40mm four-bladed props. The camera in the standard version is a little Cadix Turbo Micro F2. And the camera in this one is the Cadix Turtle V2. So the SD card recording is going to be the same as any other Cadix Turtle video that you've seen. Available with lots of different receivers. This one happens to be the FR Sky capable one, so I'm going to bind it to my little X-Lite for testing. Now inside the box, as you've seen, you don't get an awful lot. You pretty much get the quad, there's no spares, there's no battery, so you have to go and find one of those yourselves. Now this is the battery that I sourced that fits the 3D printed mount underneath, and it gives around 2.5 minutes of flight time, although there are better batteries available specifically made for this class of quadcopter. So let me very quickly plug it into Betaflight and show you what it looks like in there. So everything appears to be working, which is always nice. The ports are set up like this, so the only thing that's turned on really is the receiver. It has IRC tramp, so you can configure the VTX through the on-screen display. D-Shot 600, 8K gyro, 4K PID loop frequencies, S-Bus Spectrum satellite receiver. Air mode isn't turned on by default, but the OSD is, and so is anti-gravity. PID tuning by default looks like this. And you're going to have to set up your flight modes because by default there's only really the beeper and the arm piece set. So with a bit of flying that I've been doing here, let me talk about what I've found. It flies okay on a 2S pack. I've seen people flying it on 3S, and I tried it briefly on 3S and it was a bit of a beast. It had some really nasty tendencies on 3S because the additional weight of the battery made it perform in slightly weird ways. In fact, with the 2S battery, it does feel like it's slightly underpowered anyway. It's hovering just about 50% throttle. The specs on this are very nice. It's a nice proper flight controller running proper Betaflight. The Cadix HD system is the same as you put on a much larger quadcopter. And it is nice to be able to record in HD on this class of quad. And there is that slightly weird splayed out front part of it that gets the props out of the way of the camera so that you're not looking over the top of those as you're flying around. It's obviously less than 250 grams, so in those places where you need to be legal, it is an option. But there were a couple of shortcomings on this. The first thing is that the starting and stopping of the HD recording is really fiddly. The button to start and stop recording on the little Cadix HD board is buried away, so you're going to have to keep something plastic in the bag with you that you can kind of push that to start and stop recording. There aren't any spare props or guards in the box. To be fair, with the little flying that I've done here, I haven't really broke anything, but I do like to have a spare or two because those plastic shrouds that are bolted on top of the 1mm carbon frame potentially are going to get damaged if you fly into something fast enough. It does demonstrate the same kind of horrible yaw washout if you try and be too aggressive in your turns. If you try and kind of stop yourself in midair and turn around too quickly, then you get a horrible yaw reaction, so you have to coordinate your turns and be very gentle on the sticks. There is a lot of camera adjustment with the frame as it comes, and the antennas need to be secured, and I had to secure it on mine because the way it works is that additional Cadix HD board at the bottom meant that it was a very tight fit under the canopy that looks like it was actually designed for the version without the Cadix HD stuff. Flight time is only about 2.5 minutes, and I think part of that is because that HD system is pulling about 750 milliamps. So an awful lot of the power in the battery that you plug into this is going just to run the HD stuff. Now sadly, mine dumped into the field and I've really struggled to find the thing, so I can't show you any HD footage. But what that does show is that if you're coming at this from a larger 5-inch quad and you're looking to get something that you can fly around and will give you the same kind of experience as a 5-inch quad, this probably isn't going to be for you. There are better options for that. Things like the E-Match Tiny Hawk, or if you want something that's really nice, something like the Armatan Gecko can be built out to get under the 250 gram limit, and that's got a run cam split in there and looks, builds and behaves and has the same kind of components, albeit scaled down as you'd find in a full-size 5-inch quad. But if you're looking for a little quadcopter that you can fly around, that has these kind of enclosed fans for safety, that you're happy to only fly for a couple of minutes at a time and record some nice HD footage, then this is worth a look. Stay tuned, so I'm going to get a couple of other HD units in to try out to see which ones are the best out of this class of quad. Thanks for watching the video and watching right to the very end. You can find me in all the usual places on social media, and if you like the video and like what I'm doing here, then hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon too. If you really like what I'm doing, you can go the extra mile and become one of my Patreons for access to me directly for support and also giveaways and regular updates too. If you're looking for particular content, then check out the playlist. I organise all of my videos into playlists, so if you're looking for a particular topic, you can find everything here. If it's called Introduction To, it's designed to start very simply and build on that simple introduction to teach you all about it. If it's called For Beginners, then that is really aimed at people who are brand new to that part of the hobby. You can also search on YouTube for anything that you're interested in using the search function at the top. So iNav Painless 360 will find all of my videos and even the playlist around iNav. So thanks again for watching and happy flying.